Let's continue, my friends. It is time to work on the search component right here, or at least just the markup for it right now. And then when we come to the actual functionality, we'll work on that later, but we have to do the markup. So how we're gonna do that? I'm just gonna go back to my application. Let me zoom in a little bit. So I'm gonna go back to my sidebar. Let me close to the right. Let me zoom in one more time just to see things for you clearly. So what we have to do is gonna be under this notifications. I'm just gonna go. And this one is going to be simply, this one is going to be for search. Okay, sometimes I go with capital letters, sometimes lowercase letters. I don't know what I'm doing, but just try to be consistent even with the naming of your comments. Okay, I feel like that's kind of cool. So what we have to do right now is I'm going to go here and I have notifications, header, that's cool. And then I'm going to just have the search right here. So search. Like that, and then inside of here we'll just have the search directly.gsx. I'm not gonna name it index there because you know when you're trying to import multiple files, it's just not it. So we're always gonna go with the exporter approach. So let me just wait. So this gives me the RFC, okay, and let me remove that. And then what I have to do here, as we've done before, is just create an index.js right here. And this is a common practice, so I'm just gonna go import search from search and just simply export the search like that. And now that we've done that, I can go back to my sidebar and just add the search here. You see, we get a net just from the search directly, and in the search we can have few things that we need to do. So this search, simply I'm gonna go here and I'm just gonna remove what I have here and let me start. So I'm just gonna have a class name here. This one is going to have a custom height, which is 49 pixels. And then also we can have the padding width to be 1.5. And inside of this, we're just going to have container again. So container. All right, thank you. Consistency is not there. So we're going to go to the padding from the x-axis now. And then we're going to go with a custom property, which is 10 pixels also. Sorry, it doesn't want to, so I'm just gonna do it this way and then add the custom property 10 pixels. So what we have next after, so this one is gonna be like the input container. So I'm just gonna go here and comment also search input container. This is like the best way to understand Tailwind CSS is to always comment your code. It's a very good practice to do. So I'm gonna go .flex and then let me continue with items center. So this is just centered from the y-axis, and then the gap from the x-axis is going to be 2, like that. And then inside right here, we're just going to have another div with the width to be 4. And then let's continue with the rest of the size. So for the dark, the BG is going to be dark, BG2. And then also it's going to be rounded large, so rounded large. And then also the padding from left is going to be 2. And then simply we'll go inside here. So this is something that we have to understand is like how do like I show you. So if you saw the final application in the right here, let me just go back. So right here is going to be like an input, and in the left side is going to be like an icon. Okay, so this icon is going to be search, so just a search icon. That's understandable next to the input. But then if like I'm clicking on the input, so like I clicked on the input, this search icon turns to an arrow icon, and you will understand if I explain this right now here. So what I'm gonna do just to show you, let me just go const and then show and then set show and then useState, and in the beginning is gonna be false. Okay, so I can go here, and what I need to do is, let's say for example, if show is true, or actually like if we have some results, like after doing some search, we type something and we have some results, it's always going to be the arrow icon. And this is simply what we need to do. So let me just show you because I feel like this is a bit confusing for you. So let me just go back and open my actual WhatsApp here. So this is like actually my real WhatsApp. So as you can see, there is this input right here that we can use to search. But when I click here, look, it changes and it appears to be this arrow icon right now. I close this and it goes back to normal. So you see, this is what I'm trying to actually explain to you exactly. And also if I am like typing something and still there is some results, it's always going to be like this arrow back, even though if I clicked outside. But as I am searching something, let me just search something, as you see, I actually, like, I'm searching now, even if I clicked outside, I will still be able to see the arrow icon, the arrow back icon. Okay, so this is like the whole idea. And I just went back to my real WhatsApp just to show you, because we actually trying to work on that exactly, and to have like some sort of clone. So let me go back now. I think now you understand me. So as I am searching something, when we do have some search, we're gonna have like some search results. So I'm gonna go back here and have some search results here. And then this one, let's call it set search results, like that. And then this is going to be a useState, and in the beginning is going to be an empty array. So search results, and then set the search results. I can take this search results right here, and in the search I can set, like, for example, search length. Okay, so that means we just know if there is some informations inside this array or not. For example, if we search and we have a user, this search result is going to be inside this is going to be a user there. So the search length is just gonna know if there is some results on us by just sending the search results dot length. That is the whole idea, which is now is going to be 0. So I can take that and go back to the search and send it also right here. So if this is also different than 0, that means we have to show the arrow. So if the search length is more than 0, that means we show the actual arrow. So I can go here, and here it's gonna be arrow. Okay, else here it's just gonna be the search icon. This is just to make it very simple for you. So this is the arrow or the return icon, and this is search. So let me go back. For example, right now we have nothing, so I'm gonna have search. But let's say, for example, you clicked on an input like inside here, then it's gonna turn to be the arrow icon. And if we have search results, it's also gonna be the arrow icon. I feel like I over explain it because it is actually very simple. So let me just go back here. So inside of this arrow, what I can do is just I'm gonna have a span with the width 8. Okay, and then let me just have flex, and then items center, and then justify center. And then also I'm gonna have the rotate animation, and I will show you how it works later. And then inside of this, I'm just gonna have the return icon. All right, and this return icon, if we added a class name to it, it's just simply gonna be not for, sorry, let me go like this. This is gonna be fill, and then it's gonna be green one, sorry, like that. And then also we're gonna have the width to be 5. All right, so if I went back now, I'm not gonna be able to see it, but let's say, for example, it is equal to 0. Okay, just to show you, this is what you will see. All right, this is the return or like arrow back icon. I'm just trying to show you. Then here, if it's not, then we have to actually show the search icon. So to do that, I can just take the span because it's gonna have similar size, and you can see it is the same, but it's not gonna have the rotate animation. And in the return icon, we're gonna change that to the search icon. Now I think things are making every sense you want to. So for this one, for the search icon, is gonna be, this is gonna be in the dark mode. We're just gonna have fill, and it's gonna be SVG. So let me just go dark SVG2, I believe. Yeah. And let me show you now. So now I have the search. All right. So now I feel like this is making a lot of sense right now. All right. So let's continue. That was quite hard to explain because we still does work on the actual search, but I feel like we've done it. So now we're gonna have an input with the type text, and then we will have a placeholder here. So the placeholder is gonna say search or start a new chat, right? And then after that, we're just gonna have a class name, and this class name is just gonna be an input. Okay, and we'll work on the start later. So on focus right here. So on focus, that means like the input is active, like I clicked on it. So when you clicked on it, you can actually do something. So what we should do is just simply set show to be true. All right. So just simply when you click, show is true. And that is one focus. So for example, if I went right now, if I click it, look, it's going to change the search icon to the, look, I click on it. Let me refresh just to show you. So I click, it's going to change to the arrow back icon. So now you see that it does actually work. So this is simply when we focus. Now let's say like I on blur. On blur, that means when I was clicking inside, but now I click outside. So when I click outside, I want to go back to the search icon, and that's only if I don't have any search results under that. But if I have, I stay here. So how we're gonna do that? I'm just gonna go here and then on blur. On blur, that's simply when you actually click out of it. So on blur, we're just gonna have a test if the results length. So what is it? Results. What they named it? Yeah, the search length. Okay, so if this search length right here is actually equal to 0, then I will set show false. Okay, because I'm not gonna set it false if I do have results. That's only it's gonna be when I don't have results. And then yeah, and then simply when we type something like let's say I typed something, so I can have on the key down. So in the key down right here, I can actually just simply get the events here and have like some sort of function that is called handle search, for example, like that. And this is sending the events here, and this function you can actually so with this one, it is not a bad thing to have it here and just change the state somewhere else. So let me just have it for now here. So const, and then we'll see what we're gonna do with that. So const handle search, and just gonna be a simple arrow function now that is empty here. And this is like what we're gonna have for the input. We're gonna work on this style later, and then we're gonna close after this div here. And I'm just gonna have a button with the button class name here. And then inside of that, I'm just gonna have the filter icon. So filter icon like that. And then also this one is gonna have a class name. On dark mode is gonna have the SVG. So dark SVG. Is it the second? Yeah, the second one. All right, so let me go back and see. So this is what I have now. So let me actually now work on the input size and also the rotate animation, etc. So does it like, so sorry, it's not BG, right? It should be fill. Telling me that's why we didn't see the other color. Okay, so now I have to work on the inputs first, and then also I want to work on the rotate animation for this one. So let's actually maybe work now on the inputs first, because I feel like it's a good start. So let me show you. So we will create the input class name this one. I'm gonna create it in the index, so I can go to the index here, and I can actually have it somewhere here. So I can go dot input, and we can apply some styles. So apply, and let's work on that. So for this input, so it's gonna have the full width, and also in dark mode, it's gonna have BG to be dark BG2, okay? And then the padding is gonna be 1.5. And then the text is gonna be, so in the dark mode, the text is gonna be dark text primary, so which is 1. And then also we can have rounded LG, so rounded large. And then also I will have flex 1, which is gonna just simply take whatever the space left, and then we'll have no outline, so outline none. So that's when you click on when you click on the input and it's like have some sort of border, that's called the outline. We're just gonna go outline none to remove it. So let me go back right now and see. So this is the input. Let me zoom out. As you can see, it's not flex. So what happened between the two? Let me just go back right here and let me see. So let me go back to search. So you see this is the input, and this one, okay. So it seems like in this one should have flex, but we didn't add it. So here, before adding this dark, I can add flex. And let me see right now. Yeah, this is actually how I want it. Let me go back to normal zoom in. Yeah, this is how it should be. You know, there's the icon here. I'm zooming, you know, it looks bad here, but because I'm zooming too much just so you can see it, we have the search here, we have the input and the filter button here, okay? So when I click right now, you can see this here. You can see it like it changes to the arrow. When I click outside, you know, it goes back to normal. But now I want to, when I click this, like have some sort of animation, just as the one I showed you from the real WhatsApp application. And that's why we added the rotate animation here. So now I can actually go and maybe I can have some, you know, let's call this animations. So sorry, this one's is for animations. And then here I can actually go and start. So I'm gonna have the what we call the rotate animation. Sorry, what is the dot first? So what we have to do now is just add some sort of animation to it. This animation, let's call it rotate, for example. And it's going to be 0.3 seconds, and then also it's going to be forward, so it always stays at, you know, after finishing the animation, it stays on that state and it doesn't go back to what it was before. So, and now we can take this rotate here, and I can actually create keyframes, and we're going to name them rotate, of course. And simply, this is just in the initial state. So in the initial state, it's just going to use a transform, and just simply we're going to rotate it to minus 90 degrees. That's it. So when the animation finishes, it's just gonna go to the final state, which is was, and this is before the animation starts, which is gonna be like a little bit rotated. So when the animation finishes, it's just gonna go back to normal state. So now if I click right here, you'll see. So you see, we just rotate it a little bit, and when I click, we're just gonna return it to its normal state. It's a bit zoomed in, so it might not look as smooth, but right here it does actually look very smooth. So yeah, and you can actually test this on your computer and you see how this is beautiful. So we're learning a lot, you know, not only on the logic side of things, but also styling. And styling is very important, and I actually like this. This is very nice. So we spend quite time on this one, but that is fine. So don't be bored of this styling stuff. It is what it is. We have to do it. If you feel bored, you can just copy the components. I don't blame you. You know, styles can be boring sometimes. So thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one.